I just moved here from Akron, Ohio.
I got out. Close call. But you Philadelphians are some tough MFers. Oh my god. I grew up in like this Amish town, so I'm not used to you guys. Keep almost getting robbed all the time. Okay, so I started, I do. It's happened like 3 times. I'm actually a statistician for a living, so I'm not going to tell you a story about my job about that because that would be really boring. But I am going to tell you about a job that I had once, although it was an unpaid position. It was actually more like a internship. But it was the type of job where I think I learned more about life, diversity, patience, than any other job I had, paid or otherwise, in my entire life. And of course I'm referring to my childhood. So, tough MFers. So, I come from a family of 5. So I have 3 siblings, myself and my mother. My mom did not have it easy raising us. She was a single woman, and like a lot of parents are. And she did not make a lot of money, and was working as an office manager at this small business in Akron, Ohio. So she knew that if she made one small mistake, like the whole show would get blown up, like single parent life, like don't mess up. So she ran a really tight ship. And this woman never took a sick day, never took her vacations, and she never threw out anything. There was a household good that could be fixed. So she naturally became this handy woman, and we were subsequently, her children, forced to do lots of child labor, which I did complain about and I didn't really. But we ended up learning along with her how to fix things and take care of ourselves. So my mom, she took this as like a personal conquest, and so she really wanted her children to be independent and self-sufficient. And I was her youngest daughter out of all of her daughters that she had. So she was particularly keen on pushing this lifestyle onto me. So when I was 10 years old, we moved into a new house. And this house was sort of a fixer-upper. And it was aesthetically antiquated. So my mother and I, made this list of projects that we had to do to fix the house up. And we really got into it. Like, this list got really long, and over the years we started really getting into things. Changing countertops, knocking down walls. I was tearing out the patio at 16, like we were putting in the sunroom. We went totally crazy in this house, because we were like really getting into it. We're like, yeah, like we are strong women, we totally got this. So there was one household item that we refused to put on the list, and it was this dining room pension hanging light, and it hung from the ceiling. It was like a cheap chandelier, and this chandelier, this light, I hated this light. It was like I felt like it was like 10 feet wide, and it cast this horrible shadow on our really nice walls that we repainted and remodeled. And it didn't matter what we did, no one wanted to touch the light. The light was off guard, so it was too much. So 15 years go by. I'm an adult, I've moved out, I'm out of college, I'm in grad school. My mother calls me, she says, I'm moving out of the house. And I said, okay. She says, I need your help to change the light. And as soon as she said it, I was like, I know what light you're talking about. So I go home, and true to my mother, she had made dinner, and we were strategizing how we were going to get this light down, this behemoth that had taken up this sacred space in our dining room for all these years. So I climb a ladder, so I was the person in charge, and I reach up with my screwdriver, and I'm looking in the ceiling for the screws to take the light out. And as I'm focusing more and more, logic, and reason that had not existed before settles in. Simultaneously, my mother and I realized what had happened. And we both stood there in dumbfounded awe that this light fixture was a foe. I reached up, I took it off of the hook. I set it on the ground, and I literally walked over to the wall and unplugged it. This light fixture had fooled all of us into thinking it was this inconquerable, impossible job. Couldn't be defeated. A couple of days ago, I had a really bad day at work. I'm new here. My circle's small. I come from a big family, and I'm in like this scary city where people keep trying to rob me. And I was crying. I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm really freaking out. I feel like I have so many problems that I have to fix. And she said, do you remember the light? I said, yeah. And in that moment, I realized, you know what? Life is like this all of the time. What you think is this impossible job that has cast this huge shadow, in fact, requires no tools to solve, just the bravery to face it. Thank you.